Live from Colorado Springs, I'm Diego Sanchez, president of HousingWire, and my guest today is Preston Guyton, founder of Easy Home Search. Preston, thanks so much for joining me today.
Yeah.
Preston, can you share your career journey and what led you to start Easy Home Search?
Yeah, for sure. So, go way back. I got into real estate in 2004. I actually grew up in Myrtle Beach, and I originally, grew up, I worked in restaurants and went to college, ended up moving back, and took computer science in college and was really looking for something, didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I got into real estate, really focused on online lead generation as a way to generate leads. So many people were moving to Myrtle Beach, so really started there. And the first company I launched was 2010, was a real estate company. We did home design and custom home construction. So managed and owned that company for 10 years, sold out of that in 2020. Always dealt with lead generation, building businesses. Actually, at one point I had my real estate license in 2 states, my mortgage license in 7 states, and I was a NASCLA general contractor in 22 states. So,
wearing a lot of hats.
Yeah, and had a lot of licenses. But throughout the process, a lot of companies struggle with lead generation conversion. And Easy Home Search, originally what started building it was a way to generate mortgage leads for a mortgage company I was starting. And then it helped launch a real estate company in 2021, which I sold out of last year. We grew from 0 agents to 120 in 24 months. Same thing there, use lead generation conversion, and really just see there's a big need for, a lot of companies struggle with that. So for me, I'm at a point in my career now, really love this side of the business, and I want to help so many other companies that struggle with that area, help them in the lead generation side. So long answer to a short question.
Really good answer, and it's a really important part of the ecosystem.
For sure.
So you've had some pretty impressive growth over the past year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What do you think that momentum is coming from?
I think one, I've always been to attract good people. So our team is just everybody around us. We have our CTO is amazing. He's actually does code, and he's really good. He's like the army of 1 but 5.
Yeah.
But I think also understanding like the areas that people struggle in, especially in understanding the mortgage side, understanding the real estate side, understanding the team side, understanding how people struggle with agents, team leaders. So I think that's a big part of it, is identifying what the problems are and building the solution. So, anything that we build is based on understanding that the problem is there, and we build something to fix that problem. So I would say just really being focused and understanding on the issues that people have and teams have.
Where do you think housing professionals are going wrong, or where do you think they have misperceptions about both generating and converting leads?
Well, right now it's, I think a lot of agents came on in the 2020-21 range. And I think there's this thinking that like TikTok videos and everything else, there's instant success, and that doesn't work right now. It still does, obviously social media helps, but it takes work. I tell people, like, especially on the lead generation side, like good times you get good phone numbers, bad times you get bad phone numbers. So lead generation is, and not all ads that you run generate the same type of leads.
Right.
So a lot of what we do, we look at the consumer information that's searching online, but we also, anytime somebody like on our site comes to register, we verify the email and the phone number before they could register. So, we try to push as much good leads into the system as we can, but really the biggest thing is agents don't realize, or they don't understand how much work it takes. Like they think they could call 2 or 3 times, and that's it. That's not the case. Like we have another company I'm a part of, and we hire ISAs and place them in companies throughout the country. And the average contact is like 27 times before you actually have a meaningful conversation.
That's a big gap between the perception and the reality.
Yeah, the perception is like, hey, this comes into my lap, I sign up for leads.
Yeah.
Leads are the easy part.
Yeah.
Like to generate leads is easy. The hard part is once they come in, you take them from that point to actually closing or building a relationship. I mean, that's That's the biggest misconception, is the amount of work it actually takes.
You have this philosophy that really resonated with me when I heard it. One lead, one agent. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, and I don't even like using lead. Like for me, I like opportunity, right? So I always tell people, we'll generate as many opportunities as you want, but in the world of privacy and everything else, like so many companies will take the same lead and sell it over and over again. I think they talked about it on stage today. You sign up for something, all of a sudden you get 27 phone calls.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Rough.
So we look at it from the standpoint. So I've seen it from both sides, the consumer side, which, I'm kind of disappointed when they didn't pass the TCPA guidelines and the changes, because I think it would have helped the consumer a lot, with the amount of phone calls, the amount of people sharing data and selling data over and over again. So I look at it from the consumer side, but also the agent side, team side. When you have to fight, you get one lead to 20 companies and you're trying to call, it's going to exhaust the agent. No agents want to make phone calls anymore. So I looked at it from the consumer privacy side, but also from let that team that's paying, get that lead and let them have an opportunity to close it without 20 different companies doing it.
So we've heard a lot about, at this event about the platforms, mortgage lenders buying portals.
Yeah.
And building these end-to-end platforms for home ownership. How does Easy Home Search differentiate itself in this environment of end-to-end platforms?
Yeah, I mean, right now, so the one thing we're focused on, we have the agent tools, and then I understand the lender side. A lot of times loan officers are paying real estate teams or companies or agents for lead generation. So one of the things we're focused on is like creating the ability for a loan officer to advertise an Easy Home Search independent of real estate agent. That's really what we want to focus on is allowing multiple companies instead of just one company. They all say like, yeah, we're going to keep it, we have this real estate side, we have this mortgage side, but we're still going to give it to everybody. But still, like the most profitability is if your team sells it and it's part of it, right? So for us, we're just going to continue to focus on building simple solutions for agents and lenders to use. And that's really, I think, something that's going to set us apart, because so many of them are focused on creating it all in one house and, in one app and everything else. So.
Does that mean you're pushing in a mortgage? I think that's what I heard.
We are, yeah. So one of the things we want to do is generate ways for loan officers to generate leads independent of a real estate agent, right? So what we're doing now is we're launching in the next couple of weeks, we're launching a national lender directory. So Easy Home Search generates about 50,000 visits a day. We generate about 20,000 registrations a month. Our database is about 500,000 people, and it grows, 20,000 a month. Sure. Obviously, it grows pretty quickly. But it's hard to find options out there for loan officers that are independent of a real estate agent or team. So we're creating it now where they could simply sign up. We help them if they need help with a Google business profile. We set it up for them. We generate loan officer landing pages. And there's going to be a cool feature where they could actually search the lender directory. If they select a lender, it automatically adds that lender to all their agent pages on the website. So whenever consumers searching, they could see the lender. And that happens between the lender and the agent. So it doesn't have to. So say you're an agent advertising, and a lender has the ability to reach out to you and you build that relationship. It's just a button they turn on, and the loan officer's information shared all throughout the site.
Amazing. So looking ahead, as you grow the Easy Home Search business, what role do you see the business playing in the overall housing ecosystem?
We're always going to focus on the consumer privacy side, but we're also looking at launching more tools. Like the big thing with the loan officer tool, they're talking about on stage now, like the consumer wants to gather as much information without going to so many different places. Right. So once we launch the loan officer tool, then we're actually going to move into home services where, the way I look at it, and the best way I could explain it is, I have a friend of mine that just sold a roofing company, and he was very successful for 10, 15 years, sold it. And I was talking to him about roofing lead generation. The majority of that happens on like social media. Somebody is selling and they don't want to have anything built. They're just like, yeah, I'm going to run these leads. I'm going to, run these ads, generate leads for you. A lot of times the leads are crap. So I was like, it got me thinking about where when we start in the home services side, we already have the fish in the boat. Like
Sure.
we don't have to cast a wide net because we already have so many people searching. So we really are focused on a way to continue to develop in a way where the consumer could get as much information. Like if the roofing side works, then we're looking at it from, home services, not to get into like painting and things like that, but, moving companies, HVAC, electricians, landscaping. So it'll always evolve. Like I don't like sitting still, so I always want to develop things and being here, I got more ideas of things I want to do. So it'll continue to evolve. We're launching a consumer app and an agent app in Q3 this year. So once that launches, anybody goes to Easy Home Search now, so many people want to use an app. And so we're pushing to launch that in Q3, and then it'll connect to, by then we'll probably be in 220 MLSs. So that's about 1,000 major cities and counties across the country.
Amazing. Well, Preston, really good to catch up with you today,
Sure.
and really interesting hearing about your business.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.